Have a seat. Can everybody hear me now? Better? Better? Good. Good. So that felt like a clinical morning. Anybody else? Good morning. My name is Kathleen Mills, and I'm the Dean of Finger Lakes Health College of Nursing and Health Sciences. I would like to welcome graduates, families, faculty, and staff to our pinning ceremony. Before we begin our ceremony, I would like to ask that you silence your cell phones. Thank you for your consideration. This is a picture of our pin that the graduates will receive today. I would like to give you a little history of where the nursing pin came from. This is a picture of Florence Nightingale. Nightingale was born in May 12, 1820 in Florence, Italy. From a young age, Nightingale was active in ministering to the ill and the poor people in the village. Nightingale eventually came to the conclusion that nursing was her calling. When Nightingale approached her parents and told them about her ambitions to become a nurse, they were not pleased. Nightingale was expected to marry a man of means to ensure her class standing. Determined to pursue her calling, Nightingale enrolled as a nursing student in 1850 in Germany. And in October 1853, the Crimean War broke out. At this time, there was no female nurses stationed in the war hospitals. In late 1854, Nightingale received a letter from the Secretary of War asking her to organize a troop of nurses to tend to the sick and fallen soldiers. Given full control of the operation, she quickly assembled a team of almost 36 nurses and sailed with them to the war front. Although they had been warned of the horrid conditions, there was nothing that could have prepared Nightingale and her nurses for what they saw. Nightingale quickly set to work. She found hundreds of scrub brushes and asked the least infirm patients and fellow nurses to scrub the inside of the hospital from floor to ceiling. Nightingale herself spent every waking moment caring for the soldiers. In the evening, she moved through the dark hallways carrying a lamp while making her rounds, ministering to patient after patient. The soldiers were both moved and comforted by her endless supply of compassion. They began to call her the Lady of the Lamp. Nightingale's work reduced the hospital's death rate by 2/3. Queen Victoria rewarded Nightingale by presenting her with an engraved brooch that came to be known as the Nightingale Jewel, and by granting her a prize of $250,000 from the British government. Nightingale decided to use the money to further her cause. In 1860, she funded the establishment of St. Thomas Hospital, and within it, the Nightingale Training School of Nurses began. This is a picture of the Nightingale Jewel. This is how the nursing pin began. A nursing pin represents the badge of honor, which is worn by nurses to identify the nursing school from which they graduated. Each element has a reason and a purpose. The color gold is associated with illumination, love, compassion, courage, magic, and wisdom. Each gold bar represents the many facets that nursing offers. Blue is associated with depth and stability. It symbolizes trust, loyalty, confidence, intelligence, and truth. The center caduceus also has special meaning. The center staff represent the protector of the merchants, the shepherds, the gamblers, and the thieves. The center serpent is there to represent a shedding of a skin, indicating longevity and immorality. We will now present the graduates with their pins. At this time, I would like to invite Professor Tones, the RN coordinator, and Professor Larson, a faculty and class advisor, to the podium. Mrs. Tones will call the name of the graduate, and then the family member will do the pin.
Fadia, being pinned by her sister, Grimke. Brittany Badia, being pinned by her sister. Rachel Griffa, being pinned by her son Scott. Rebecca Brown, being pinned by her daughter Adria. Christian Bryant, being pinned by her Neil Jones, being pinned by her sister Mackenzie. Alicia Collins, being pinned by her daughter Alana. Lauren Crane, being pinned by her mother Deb. Brittany Kieran, being pinned by her fiance Nicholas. Madison Denny, being pinned by her grandmother, Carol. Duncan, being pinned by her husband, Corey. Rachel Jenkins, being pinned by her fiance Anthony and her daughter Charlotte. Charisma Johnson Hart. Anna Kabatsowitz, being pinned by her mother, Laura. Tamika Levert, being pinned by her daughter, Deshauna. Lee Liu, being pinned by her sister, Dana. Chelsea Manahan, being pinned by her grandmother, Joanne. Kelly O'Connor, being pinned by her mother, Dawn, and daughter, Lina. Paige Pogorski, being pinned by her sister, Kristen. Charisse Reed, being pinned by her son, Lennon. Monet Rivera, being pinned by her Lucy Rono, being pinned by her husband, Jeffrey. Lyrian Rook, being pinned by her daughter, Zyra. Madeline Sane, being pinned by her classmate, Marissa. And we also have Marissa Smith being pinned by her classmate, Natalie. Lakisha Underwood, being Liliana West, being pinned by her mother, Andrea. Nikisha Whitty, being pinned by her son, Joshua. Ultra Shauna Wilson.
Your brother here!
Well done. Well done. All right, so this year we're going to move on to this year's class awards. Professor Tones and Professor Larson will assist. Our first award is the Academic Achievement Award for the highest academic achievement in the nursing program. This was actually difficult because there was two that were neck and neck. This year, the award goes to Paige Fagori. Our next award is the Finger Lakes Health College of Nursing and Health Sciences Class Choice Award. By class vote to the graduate nurse who demonstrated the principles of relationship-based care by creating healthy relationships with the people they work with and care for. This year's class has chosen Shawnee Wilson. Our next award is the Emily Carson Memorial Award. This is given in memory of Emily, a 2010 graduate who was an extraordinary nurse, a loving mother, daughter, and a sister, and an unwavering patient advocate. Emily had such a powerful connection to people in our organization and within the community because of her great spirit and warm sense of humor, dedication to the nursing profession, and the compassion that she displayed for her patients. This year's recipient is Kaylee Stanwick. Our next award is the Aubrey DeMillo Memorial Award. If I can have Aubrey's family come forward to present. The Aubrey DeMillo Memorial Award is given in honor of Aubrey, a member of the class of 2013. This award is given to a graduate who shares the same philosophy of nursing that Aubrey evidenced with every interaction that she had with patients, peers, faculty. She had great patience, compassion, determination to learn, and confidence and passion. This year's recipients, there are two. The first one is Camille Burns, and the second one is Charisma Johnson Hart. Our next award is the James J. Dooley Memorial Award, awarded in honor and recognition of James J. Dooley, the past long-tenured president and CEO of Finger Lakes Health, who served as the first president of the Finger Lakes Health College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Awarded to the graduate who serves as a role model and mentor to others, and who demonstrates a love of family, community, and healthcare profession. This year's recipient is Kenesha Underwood. Our next award is a new addition to our ceremony. It's from the Daisy Foundation. The Daisy Foundation was established in 1999 by the members of the family of Patrick Barnes. He was 33 years old when he died of complications of an autoimmune disease, ITP. Like many families we see every day who go through this kind of horrific loss, the Barnes family wanted to do something positive to honor the special man Patrick was. So as they say, over a very liquid dinner right after Pat's death, they came up with a DAISY, an acronym for diseases attacking the immune system. As they brainstormed what the Daisy Foundation would actually do, they kept coming back to the one positive thing they held on to during Pat's 8-week illness. The extraordinary care they received were Pat's nurses. The family was very impressed by the clinical care of Pat's nurse provided, and what really overwhelmed them was the compassion and kindness that his nurses brought to Pat's bedside day in and day out. The nurses' sensitivity made a difference in the Barnes experience, and they wanted to say thank you to the nurses for the extraordinary care they had experienced. So Pat's family created the Daisy Award for extraordinary nurses. What started out as a thank you from their family and to nurses has grown into a meaningful recognition program embraced by thousands of healthcare organizations around the world. We are very proud to partner with Daisy as we have extraordinary nurses here at Finger Lakes Health College of Nursing and Health Sciences. While Patrick was ill, his stepmother Bonnie noticed the great tradition nurses have for pins. The Daisy Foundation hopes that you'll wear your Daisy honoree pin proudly. Each recipient will also receive a sculpture called the Healer's Touch. The story of the Healer's Touch sculpture is beautiful sculpture is called the Healer's Touch, representing the bond between nurses and their patients. The sculptures are handcrafted, made of serpentine stone, and are signed by the Sonia artist from Zimbabwe who created it. We encourage you to view the video on the Daisy Foundation website to learn more about how the sculptures are made. As you may know, the economy and politics of Zimbabwe have been in turmoil for decades. However, through their work for Daisy, the Shoni artists have been able to support hundreds of people in their community. The Daisy Foundation feels that nurses are reaching around the world and impacting the lives of those very special artists, and the artists are filled with gratitude for nurses for this work. Some of the benefits and opportunity, the recipients will get a gift bag as an insert highlighting the many benefits and opportunities you'll receive. One of the main things is cinnamon rolls, so you'll see on the stage there's little cinnamon rolls. There are several reasons why the Daisy Foundation asked that cinnamon rolls be served at the Daisy celebrations. First, when Pat was ill, he had lost his appetite until one morning he had asked for a bite of a cinnamon roll that his dad had brought for his own breakfast. Pat ended up eating the whole thing. As their family was leaving that evening, Pat asked that they bring him a cinnamon roll the next day and to be sure to bring enough for all the nurses. Those cinnamon rolls were Pat's thank you to his nurses, and the foundation wants to share all nurses with his favorite treat as a gift of gratitude. Secondly, nursing is a real team sport, and the cinnamon rolls serve to celebrate your team and give you the opportunity to stop for a few minutes and share something special together. Finally, almost without exception, when a nurse receives the Daisy Award, the humble response is, "I didn't do anything special. I was just doing my job." What the Daisy nurse may not realize, however, is that when nurses are just doing their job, they have such an impact and meaningful impact on the lives of so many. Daisy hopes that whenever you smell or taste a cinnamon roll or bake with cinnamon, you'll be reminded how special you are and positive difference that you make in your patient or your patient's family lives. You are making a difference in everyone's world. Today we have the pleasure of 2 Daisy Award recipients, 1 graduate and 1 faculty. I would like to first start with our graduate. I would also like to read the submission for all of you. I am lucky enough to know this student as an LPN student and now an RN student. I witnessed her pull her education all together and really shine as a student and think as a seasoned nurse. In emergency situation and clinical, they sprang into action to assist a peer who had a patient with respiratory distress. They gathered supplies needed for the emergency on the floor. She was not familiar as well as gave report to the incoming staff when the rapid response was called to her patient. She sat with the patient in a calm and supportive manner. Many doctors and heads of the unit responded to this emergency, and she was able to use all the tools that she had been taught in nursing school. She used her therapeutic communication skills along with the SBAR, clinical judgment, and professional identity to take control of the situation. She never left the patient's side as she explained about what was happening within the room and was a resource to her peer and primary nurse. Due to the assessment skills and quick response, the patient had a positive outcome. It was absolutely amazing and rewarding to watch as she performed her duties as a seasoned nurse while being a student nurse for a 5-week specialty course. I have no doubt she will shine as an RN when she graduates and passes her boards. Our first graduate Daisy Award recipient is Marissa Smith. recognize those students that were also nominated. They will receive a certificate and pin. So as I call your name, you'll receive a certificate that's inside the envelope and a Daisy Award pin. Paige Pigorski. Shawnee Wilson. Okay. Our second Daisy Award will now be given to a faculty. This is the nomination that was received. These awards are actually selected by our shared governance at the organization side, so none of us ever see these. They decide on that side. The candidate I'm speaking about is a faculty member of the FLHCON. I have been employed by FLHCON since 7/24 and was the faculty member I spent a great portion of my time with. She was my mentor for the fall clinical semester. Even though I am an experienced nurse and instructor, I was in need of guidance in regard to the FLHCON and the inner workings of the clinical instructor. As always, she was available for me when I had any questions and was always understanding and considerate. If I had any questions or concerns regarding protocols for clinical instruction or nursing skills or lab plans, she did not treat me in any manner different and always gave me respect and dignity, professionalism. She was never condescending or judgmental or made me realize that I did indeed know the answers to most of the questions I was asking. I have witnessed her firsthand, her interactions with nursing students and her desire to teach extremely evident. Our first Faculty Daisy Award goes to Professor Tones. I would also like to share the other faculty that were nominated this year. They'll receive a certificate and pin. I have Professor White, Professor McDermott, Professor Crane, and Professor Mills. We will now move on to the Nightingale Pledge ceremony. At this time, I will ask that Professor Crane to please come on stage to recite the nursing pledge. The pledge represents the nursing's commitment, the wisdom, the hope, and the connection. Through this ceremony, we are passing the light of nursing on to the graduates. Graduates, please stand, light your candle, and raise your right hand.
Without regard to race, color, creed, politics, or social status.
without regard to race, color, creed, politics, or social status.
I will spare no effort to conserve meaningful life,
I will spare no effort to conserve meaningful life,
to alleviate suffering and to promote health.
to alleviate suffering and to promote health.
I will refrain from any action which might be harmful
I will refrain from any action that might be harmful
to the quality of life or health of those I care for.
to the quality of life or health of those I care for.
I will respect at all times
I will respect at all times
the dignity and religious beliefs of my patients under my care.
the dignity and religious beliefs of the patients under my care,
And hold in professional confidence
and hold in professional confidence
all personal information entrusted to me.
all personal information entrusted to me.
I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge
I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge
and skills at the highest level
and skills at the highest level,
and give my support and cooperation
and give my support and cooperation
to all members of the health team
to all members of the health team,
with full awareness of my qualifications and limitations.
with full awareness of my qualifications and limitations.
I will do my utmost to maximize the potential
I will do my utmost to maximize the potential
of the nursing profession
of the nursing profession
and to uphold and advance its standards.
and to uphold and advance its standards.
Well done. At this time, I would like to invite the Finger Lakes Nurse Honor Guard on the stage and to the podium, please.
Nursing is a calling, a lifestyle, a way of living. Today, the Finger Lakes Nurse Honor Guard honors the Finger Lakes Health College of Nursing class of 2025. Today, we celebrate not only your vigorous academic journey, but also help you in making the beginning of a noble career path as a nurse. Graduate nurses, you will not be remembered by your years as a nurse, but by the difference you make during those years by stepping into people's lives in special moments.
You will be there. When a calming, quiet presence is all that is needed, when compassionate care and love and excellence in patient care is provided, you will be there. In the excellence and miracle of birth, or in the mystery and loss of life, when a silent glance could uplift a patient, family member, or friend, you will be there. At those times when the unexplainable needs to be explained, when the situation demands innovative solutions, critical thinking, leadership, or patient advocacy, you will be there. To witness humanity, its beauty, and good times and bad without judgment. To embrace the woes of the world willingly and to offer hope. To provide a gentle touch, a firm push, or an encouraging word when needed. You will be there. And now that it is time to answer the call of duty, Class 2025, you will begin.
Graduate nurses, we honor you on this day and welcome you as our new colleagues. Class of 2025, report for duty. Report for duty. Class of 2025, report for duty.
Congratulations, graduates. Today you have received your badge of honor. Please wear these pins with pride and honor. You have endured an incredible journey that will serve you the rest of your life. This completes our pinning ceremony. Please stay seated until the graduates have exited.